All right, everybody, it's the Super Zook, and welcome to my first video on Return to Dark Tower, which is based on a Dark Tower game from the 1980s. I think 1981, Christmas of 81 came out, and my brothers and I, we played that game. We loved it, so I decided when I found out about this game, I gotta have it. So I've already gone through the setup and I've chosen my character. This character is called the Relic Hunter, and I've set up the board, placed all the initial skulls as required on buildings. It said 2 skulls on each sanctuary and bazaar in every kingdom. There's also a citadel and a village in each kingdom, but those have nothing. And then I chose my enemy in the tower. The enemy in the tower is called the Empress of Shades. I've never fought the Empress of Shades. This will be my first time, so we'll see how this goes. And for the enemies, I have chosen, my first are the Brigands. They're the level 2, the low level ones. The next one, level 3, the Widowmaid Spider. Got a bunch of them to contend with. The level 4 enemy is the Dragon. And I'm doing this because the Dragon was in the original game, and so were the Brigands. And then, of course, as I told you, the enemy in the tower is the Empress of Shades. And of course, she's level 5. So, let's start. I'm not going to go over the rules, but I will cover a couple things. First off, this is set as month 1, and you have 6 months to beat the game. In the first month, you get 1 turn, and then it goes to the second month. But every other succeeding month, you'll get 5, 6, 7 turns, depends. It's kind of random. They keep it random, so you don't know what to expect. And at the end of the month, usually big things happen. At the end of your turn, each turn, you have to drop a skull into the top of the tower. And at the beginning of your turn, you have the option to do one thing. It's called your banner action, and it's generally good for you to do it. So a lot of the time, especially with the Relic Hunter, I will be doing it all the time, because his special ability, his banner ability, is to gain a potion from the potions deck. And really, potions are pretty powerful in this game. And to get one each turn, that's a pretty great thing as the Relic Hunter. And then, really, after you do your banner option, the middle of your turn is where you make all your decisions. You move, you reinforce, and you also take a heroic action. Now, you don't have to do those if you don't want to, but they're generally beneficial. And you can do them in any order. You can move, you get up to 3, sometimes 4 movements per turn. If you move 1, you can reinforce if you're on a city, and then you could move another 2 and then do a heroic action. If you had any other movement left, because you were one of those 4-player ones or 4-move ones, or you have a special item, a gear, which allows you to go an extra space each turn, or you've paid 1 spirit to double your move, which you can also do before you move, then you can keep moving and get around the map. But you can only do 1 reinforce and 1 of the 3 heroic actions each turn. Same thing, you can only take your banner action once. But once you've made those decisions and you've done the middle of your turn, last thing you do, end of the turn, drop a skull in, and you see what happens. So I think we're going to start. Like I said, I already set up the game, and here we go. Turn 1 doesn't have any special things going on. For example, it says calm before the storm, no quest for a companion, no adversary quest, just the main goal. And the way I get to do the main goal is by fulfilling this quest. And this quest is, I must delve the 3 dungeons that are set out for me by Tomas the Scout. And once I do his 3 dungeons, I'm then able to get into the tower. This is kind of hidden, but this place right here, kind of behind the tower, is the throne. It's a grassland. And terrain does have something to do in this game, as you'll see, but I'm putting it right here. Hopefully you can barely see it out the corner. But once I have fulfilled all of his requirements and delved into the 3 dungeons he tells me about, I will then go here, and that will open the tower, and that forces the Empress of Shades to come out and battle, and then I do the final battle. Alright, so here I am. The blue player is the Relic Hunter, and I'm going to start here at the Citadel. And on my turn, first thing, banner action, take a potion card. So I just gained the potion of the Golden Sun, which allows me to gain 1 spirit. But you don't have to use that potion immediately. You can hold on to it and use it whenever you want. Sometimes you lose potions in a battle or some sort of action, and if you don't have one to lose, you have to take what's called a corruption. And if you take 3 corruptions, that's it. Game's over. If you have to take your 3rd corruption. So you might want to carry at least one of them in your hand at times, just in case, so you don't have to take a corruption. Now, of course, you can cleanse those at the sanctuary, but we'll get into that later. Here is the first ruin that Tomas has found for me. It's called a stealth ruin. Each ruin has a special ability, and it's on a certain terrain. This is a desert terrain. So the ruins are located on a desert terrain, and stealth is the kind of thing you need to get through this dungeon. If you have a lot of stealth ability, you'll be successful. A lot easier for you, because stealth is the advantage that you can use. And I'll go over advantages in the first time we actually do something about that and need to use advantages. So I took my banner action, grabbed my potion. Now I can move, do a heroic action, reinforce. Now at the start of the game, I only have 1 spirit, and I have 7 warriors at my command. That's not really a lot. So in the first month, since it's only 1 turn, you're trying to gear yourself up. So what I'm going to do is move to a bazaar to gear up. 1, 2, 3. Here in Dayside, there's a bazaar. I've used all 3 of my moves, although one of his abilities as Tomas is, not only does he give me +2 stealth advantages, which are going to be very nice against clearing this ruins, it also says I don't need to spend spirit to double my move. So I can double my move for free. So I really could go up to 6. But I really don't need to go 6. I'm going to stop here at 3. And I'm going to reinforce at the bazaar, which gives me the option. I can either get a free piece of gear, which is something over here, or if I pay 2 spirit, I can take one of these special treasures. So I'm just going to take a free gear. And there is a special stealth gear. It's called +1 stealth advantage for the Dusky Cloaks. So I'm going to take that. So now I have 1 stealth advantage for that. +2 because Tomas is with me as my companion. And sometimes you get bonuses for terrain. I won't in this case because I started in a terrain where I get +2 wild advantages, but only if I'm in the hills. Wild advantages means they're a wild card. You can use them for anything. But I won't be able to get that because this dungeon, this stealth dungeon, is in a desert. And in battles, it also comes into a play there. But I do have 2 other virtues I start with. One is when you reinforce at a bazaar, spend 1 less spirit to gain a treasure. So technically, instead of taking the spirit for free, I could have paid my 1 starting spirit, and I could have gotten one of these treasures. But I'm gonna hold off on that because I know where I have to go. It's here, and I need to get stealth for it. So I'm gonna stock up on stealth, and it's free. And then my other benefit is +1 humanoid advantage. So if I'm fighting humanoids, like the brigands, I believe, are humanoid, they're stealth and humanoid. So yes, I will get a bonus fighting them if I ever choose to fight them. So anyway, I stopped here at the bazaar. I reinforced at the bazaar for free, gained my 1 cloak, which is a gear, and now my last thing I'm going to do is a heroic action. I can cleanse, battle, or quest. There is no quest here, so I can't quest. This would be a quest marker, for example, or going into this ruins would be considered a quest when I do that. So I'm not questing, I'm not battling because the nearest enemy is this Widowmaid spider and I didn't run to its location. So I'm not going to fight it, so there's no battle. So I'm going to cleanse. And when you cleanse, you remove all skulls from a building. And you get to put them back into the storage for the skulls. So I've cleansed this bazaar, and whenever you cleanse, you gain 2 spirit afterwards. So that's one good thing. It's also if you battle or quest, whenever you complete a heroic action, you'll get 2 spirit. So I really wanted to get that spirit, so that now I have 3 spirit and 7 warriors. But that's it. I've done everything I can on this turn. So the very last thing I do is go into the reserves where I have some skulls. Just 1 skull gets dropped in, if you can see that. And this sometimes they roll out, so I'm gonna have to put my hand down. Oh, I went out that way to the south. Now, what that means is I have to put this on a building in the south. I'm going to put it here where there are 2 other skulls. Now, if a building ever gets a 4th skull, it gets destroyed. But I put it there with the 2 other skulls, so there are 3. And then I'm going to work my way over there eventually and cleanse it. And when I cleanse it, I'm cleansing 3 instead of 1 or 2. So, all right, and that's it. And now it's time for events, as you can see. Let's see what'll happen. The Empress awakens. She decimates the ranks of warriors who stand against her. All players lose all their warriors. Okay, that's wasn't expecting that. Probably a good thing at the beginning of the game not to have many. If I'd have went to this village where I can pick up warriors, that would have been all for naught. All right. And now that ends the month because the first month is only 1 turn. Now we'll set up month 2, where I get 2 new quests, the adversarial quest and a companion quest. So now for the companion quest, I can recruit Letha. She's the dryad and she senses fear among the creatures of the forest. And if I aid her in calming them, she will join me. And each person who joins you gives you special abilities. So you really want to try to get those quests done. Quest in Yellow Pike and spend 16 warriors to gain Letha as a companion. So, Yellow Pike is in the west, which is over here in that forest. Of course, she's in the forest because she's a dryad. Now I need to get 16 warriors and go there and just quest, and bam, it's done, and she'll join me. So that's really not that hard. But there's also an adversary quest. The first signs of plague have appeared. You must convince the people to take precautions preventing its spread. Quest in Egan's End and spend 2 potions, or the plague will spread to even the hardest warriors of the land. Or hardiest warriors of the land. So, I have to go to Egan's End and spend 2 potions. Egan's End is in the north. Right here. Ooh, that's going to be real easy, because guess what? I didn't consume that potion I got last turn, did I? So at the beginning of my next turn, I'll have 2 potions. I can go boom, boom, knock that out, because if you don't do this, you really are in trouble if you don't do your adversary quests. Because then bad things start to happen. All right. So I've set up month 2, and it's ready to begin.